Good evening, and welcome to the Davison High School graduation commencement ceremony for the graduating class of 2011. It is with great privilege and honor that we present to you this year's graduating class. We're gathered here today to reflect not only on the most recent year of your child's school career, but its entirety, from the first day of kindergarten to this glorious occasion 13 years in the making. At this time, I would like to introduce the President of the Board of Education for the Davison Community Schools, Mrs. Kathleen Sudia. Davison Community Schools is fortunate to have such an exceptional group of individuals serving the needs of the community and the schools. They devote many hours of their time to ensure Davison Community Schools maintains the commitment to excellence we have all proposed. Mrs. Sudia is a graduate of Lakewood High School and received her bachelor's degree from Central Michigan University. Mrs. Sudia has served on the Board of Education for the Davison Community Schools since 1989. Mrs. Sudia and her husband Bill have a long-standing relationship with the Davison Community Schools and are the parents of two Davison High School graduates, Adam and Nicole. Mrs. Sudia is a member of the District's Advisory Curriculum Council and plays an active role in determining the curriculum taught in our schools. Mrs. Sudia has also been actively involved with Davison High School. She is a longtime supporter of our instrumental music department. She is a former member of the band Boosters and has served as president of that organization. Please welcome Mrs. Kathleen Sudia.
Thank you, Mrs. Morris. Good evening. Welcome to commencement ceremonies for the Davison High School class of 2011. It was a great year to be a senior at Davison High School. Let me tell you how I know you're all headed for success. It was the year that DTV won an Emmy. It was the year the Symphony Orchestra, concert band, and symphonic band all received Division I ratings at the MSBOA Festival for the 4th straight year, and the year that the symphonic band received the championship trophy for having the highest score at Fiesta Val Music Competition in Atlanta, Georgia. It was the year our art students were honored in several different competitions, and the first year for the Maroon and Golden Globe Awards. It was the year DECA earned the distinction of winning a national award, a record amount of BPA students competed at the state finals, and the Davison boys basketball team began a reading buddy and mentoring program with elementary students. The Student Council and Key Club concentrated their efforts on helping others, and the National Honor Society collected 180 pints of blood for the American Red Cross. Varsity Choir not only performed at Disney World, but earned an excellent first division rating at the State Choral Festival. It was a great year for our athletes, too. Volleyball went to districts. Boulders were state final qualifiers. Cheerleaders were Big Nine champs for the 5th time. Varsity football received first place standing in the Big Nine for the 9th consecutive years. And wrestlers were named Big Nine champs for the 12th consecutive year. Varsity baseball, girls golf, boys cross country, bowling, and hockey also earned the titles of Big Nine champs of the year. School records were broken in boys track. Students were named all-state academic athletes, coaches of the year were selected in girls and boys golf, boys bowling, and cross country, and in the last week, the boys golf and baseball teams won regional championships. It was the year of Arsenic and Old Lace and Titanic the musical. And during your last 4 years, this class has volunteered more than 24,000 hours to community service projects in and around the Davison and Genesee County area. What a well-rounded bunch. This graduating class has demonstrated a determination to be the best it can be, no matter what the playing field. You are a source of great pride to us and your community today. On behalf of the Davison Board of Education, I wish this fascinating, talented, and skilled group much success in the future. Congratulations.
Thank you, Mrs. Sudia. At this time, I would like to ask Senior Class President Stephen Brown to join us on stage. Steve is an accomplished young man with proven leadership skills. He's been on the high honor roll, earned an academic certificate, an academic pin, a Cardinal Code pin, community service cords, Student of the Month recognition, and was the Davison Index Student of the Week. He earned a varsity letter in football and was awarded Big 9 all academic honors. Please welcome Mr. Stephen Brown.
Friends, family, esteemed school staff, and fellow graduates, I stand before you today in a time of celebration, reflection, sadness, and yes, dare I say, relief. I am so honored and humbled to be representing 341 other amazing people whose journey has led them here. Tonight, let us remember our past, celebrate the present, and ponder our future. The mature, confident men and women that stand before you today once were small, innocent boys and girls. The journey began in kindergarten. This was a time of remembering shapes and colors, drawing blue ducks because, hey, you never saw one, and most importantly, nap time. Then came elementary school. This meant division and multiplication, way too much crying and screaming that any teacher should ever have to deal with, and eating the PB&J and snack pack that mom packed you. Then it was on to middle school. This was a period of 2-week relationships, going to McDonald's on half days, and taking the ever-important MEEP test. Finally, there was the first 3 years of high school. This meant starting a major paper the night before it was due, AKA AP Gov, pouring your sweat and tears to get a win for the cards, and dancing like a fiend at prom. In our past, we were babies in diapers, toddlers that mumbled, and adolescents with a curfew. We were timid freshmen, annoying sophomores, and stressed juniors. Now we are in the present. Many people may have doubted the class of 2011. They may have said we weren't intelligent enough, athletic enough, dedicated enough. Well, boy, were they wrong. We have 174 people graduating with a 3.0 GPA or higher. We volunteered over 24,000 hours of community service throughout our high school career. We were Big 9 champs in, wow, girls golf, football, boys cross country, baseball, boys bowling, girls bowling, competitive cheer, hockey, and boys track. DTV won an Emmy. DECA had numerous people go to both the state and national conference, and the Davison Cardinal Marching Band placed first at the Brandon competition. Obviously, these are just to name a few because our accomplishments are infinite. You see, we are high-achieving individuals with a plethora of talents. We are athletes, nerds, preps. We are performers, artists, musicians. We are students, friends, volunteers, and leaders. Now, as much as today is about us and what we have become, it would only be fair to pay homage to the individuals who have helped us along the way. So to our friends, you have been there from day one. A shoulder to cry on, an ear to listen, a voice of reason, and a smile to share. To our principal, superintendent, secretaries, teachers, and the entire staff of Davison Community Schools, you have filled our minds with knowledge and wisdom our hearts with compassion and memories, and our bellies with drive and motivation. You have seen us transform from kindergartners to seniors, and you have molded us not only into great students, but more importantly, great human beings. Finally, and maybe most importantly, thank you to all the moms and dads, aunts and uncles, brothers and sisters, grandpas and grandpas, and anyone else that is family. There has been dance recitals and Little League games, award nights and parent-teacher conferences, vacations and funerals, laughs and tears, and only one thing has remained constant: your unconditional love. In a world that can be so cruel, malicious, and selfish, you have been there for 100% of the way, and for this, we simply can never repay you. Finally, let us consider the future. As I have displayed, the class of 2011 is one of the highest achieving group of individuals to have walked the halls of DHS. And yet, what's next for all of us after leaving DHS? Some will go to college, others will enter the working world as soon as tomorrow. While the future seems unsettling this very moment, I know that each and every one of us will be successful. We will be doctors, lawyers, teachers. We will be engineers, politicians, entrepreneurs, and so much more. Whatever path you choose, though, do it with all your heart. My parents have always told me, do something you love, and you'll never work a day in your life. Apply this to your career, but more importantly, your overall life. So in the future, put as much fun and love you had for your sport or club into your marriage and family. Put as much time you spent studying for that test into your job. And maybe put all that excitement you had partying into your local community. Now, I have been reflective and inspirational, but quite simply, now it's time to be realistic. I'd be foolish to stand here and tell you that life will be perfect and there will be no struggles. Take the hardships and stresses you've experienced thus far in your life, times them by 100, and that's what the future will most certainly hold. I'm not trying to scare anyone, but the fact of the matter is that we live in a cruel world that doesn't care who you are, where you came from, or how much money you have. In fact, many people have said that we are growing up in the most competitive era in our nation's history. We are entering into a time of economic uncertainty, political gridlock, and social frustration. However, it is not a time of despair, it's a time of opportunity. It's a time for young men and women like ourselves to get out there and make changes, compromise, and to succeed both internally and externally. And by success, I don't mean our names in the paper, the awards we garnish, or the number of zeros we can write at the end of a check. No. More importantly, I mean the number of lives we transform and change. So, whoever you were in the past or are in the present, be someone of character and service in the future. Ralph Waldo Emerson said it best: what lies behind us and what lies before us are tiny matters to what lies within us. Remember the good times in your past and forget the bad, because today is a new day. The past, for whatever it's worth, is the past, and only the beliefs, morals, and motivation that lies within you will ultimately determine your future happiness. I've mentioned all the things we were in the past, we are in the present, and we will be in the future. However, there is only one thing that we were, we are, and we always be. That is Davison Cardinals. It is an eternal bond that we share, one that can never be broken, no matter the hardships or triumphs we face. So even if you wear maize and blue next year, green and white, black and gold, or any other combination, you will always bleed maroon and gold. So as you venture out into the world and become the extraordinary people you are destined to be, make Davison proud, your teachers proud, your friends and family proud, but most importantly, Make yourself proud. Again, I want to thank my fellow graduates on their success, and I wish you all good luck, even though I know you won't need it. And to all of you here in attendance, I wish each and every one of you health, happiness, and success in your future endeavors. Thank you and God bless.
Thank you, Steve. At this time, I would like to invite the senior members of the choir to come forward and join Ms. Davis and the rest of the varsity choir. While the choir is preparing to perform, I'd like to say a few words about the cords many of the seniors are wearing today. The gold cords are for academic excellence, and the students who are wearing them have achieved a cumulative grade point average of 3.0 or better. This accomplishment takes a lot of dedication and hard work, and we are very proud of these students. The white cords are for a program unique to Davison. Davison High School recognizes those students who have volunteered 120 or more hours of service to their community. The students wearing the white cords have given of their time to programs like Project Rake Up, the Soup Kitchen, charitable organizations, Big Brothers Big Sisters, just to name a few. Please join me in a round of applause for all of these students who have achieved academic excellence and or made a commitment to serving their community. Davison High School is very proud of our choral music department, which is under the direction of Ms. Jennifer Davis. The varsity choir has been busy, as always, with the festival and their musical production this year of Titanic the Musical. Davison is fortunate to have not only talented directors like Ms. Davis, but to also have many talented vocal students. Ladies and gentlemen, I now give you the varsity choir under the direction of Ms. Jennifer Davis and accompanied by Mrs. Beth Walsh, singing Hope for Resolution, arranged by Paul Caldwell and Sean Ivory.
Oh,
Thank you, Ms. Davis and the varsity choir. It is now my privilege to introduce the commencement speaker chosen by the class of 2011. Mr. Matt Lobin graduated from Davison High School in 1998. He completed undergraduate studies at the University of Michigan Flint and received a Bachelor of Science in Mathematics with a teaching certification. He taught 1 year at Lapeer East High School, then came to Davison, where he has completed his 8th year of teaching mathematics. He has been a coach in the Davison baseball program for 13 years at each level from 7th through varsity, and is currently the pitching coach for the varsity squad. He now holds a Master of Arts in Educational Technology from the University of Michigan Flint. He was Davison Educational Foundation Teacher of the Year in 2010. Mr. Lobin lives in Davison with wife Jill and sons Camden and Jackson. Please welcome Mr. Matthew Lobin.
Thank you, Mrs. Morris. Mr. Liskey, Mr. Brown, members of the board, faculty, families and friends, and most importantly, the class of 2011. Thank you for the honor of standing before you on this momentous occasion. Today is a great day to celebrate the accomplishments of the last 13 years or so of your lives. I think that we would all agree and hope that today is not just a capstone, but a milestone for all the great things that you will accomplish in your life. And if we reminisce back through the years, we will find that your story has been a roller coaster of highs and lows, been filled with laughter and tears, and has been an endless list of lessons learned. As you enter into a new chapter in your life, your choices and experiences from this past chapter will no doubt guide you through the rest of your journey. There are many character traits that will help you to accomplish what you pursue in life. But of all of them, in the times that we are faced in right now, no one, I feel, rings more truly than that of perseverance and persistence. Picture in your head right now what you want to accomplish in life, and imagine yourself heading for that destination. There's a pretty good chance that the road to that point is going to be like many roads in Michigan. There will be some potholes and cracks, some sections under constant construction, and different stretches of smooth sailing in between. Continuing down that road with the belief that you will eventually get through the setbacks, being able to take a few detours, courtesy of your TomTom or Garmin, and relying on your OnStar and past travel experiences is imperative to reaching your destination. Zig Ziglar, a popular entrepreneur and motivational speaker, has told a story of when he was a young boy. The story goes that every morning his mom would come to his bedroom door and wake him up to do chores and have breakfast. Now his mom was a very positive person, and every morning she would say to him, "Zig, today is going to be a great day." Well, one morning he woke up a little cranky, and like every day proceeded to make his way out into the kitchen. His mom started the morning dialogue with the usual, "Zig, it's going to be a great day." But Zig, fed up with the enthusiasm, replied, "No, Mom, it's not. It's gonna be a horrible day." His mother, in her infinite wisdom, said, "Okay, Zig, well then I want you to go back into your bed and sleep, because we don't want to have to go through a day like that, right?" So Zig did, and he fell back asleep for a while, but was awoken to a particular aroma coming from the kitchen, accompanied by the crackling and popping sound of hot grease in a pan. He could taste the saltiness of a strip of bacon. He could smell the aroma of the biscuits. And he rose from his bed and again entered the kitchen to the sight of bacon, eggs, grits, and biscuits and gravy. And oh, was he excited then. He sat down at the table and was reaching for a fork when his mom said, "Zig, what are you doing?" And he replied, "Well, I was gonna have some breakfast." "Oh, no, Zig," she said. "When you woke up this morning and decided it was going to be a horrible day, I made it my goal to make sure that it was going to be a horrible day. Now go back into your bedroom." And he proceeded through the rest of the day. So the next morning when Zig's mom went to his room to wake him up, she opened the door. There sitting on his bed, with the bed made, he was dressed and ready to go, was Zig, who stood and declared to his mom, "Mom, today's gonna be a great day." You see, your attitude about life is what drives you. How you perceive what you are going through either enables or disables you. When you wake up in the morning like Zig and you look in the mirror, the attitude you choose to have for that day will affect the choices you make and how you handle the situations and opportunities you are presented with, and most importantly, how you will affect the people you encounter. You can choose whether to get worked up at the car that just cut you off or the long line of cars that were on Center Road about an hour ago. You can get worked up about the fast food worker with the food not being quite ready and they make you pull off to the side. Or you can get mad at the traffic light that won't seem to turn green fast enough. You can choose to frown brow your way through life, grumbling at any discomfort or distress, or you can choose to pull off the road, stay in bed, and survive the construction, having possibly missed the opportunity to drive down a beautiful stretch of road. But you can also choose to drive on. Look for opportunities to excel, persevere, and thrive in the struggle. It is your choice. Dave Ramsey is one of my favorite people right now, and he is helping me to get my family through some financial hiccups we have due to some of my misguided decisions, according to my wife. In fact, I shared some of his teachings with two of my senior AP classes in their last few days of high school. And just to let you parents know, some of your children think that a mortgage is about $300 and that you don't have to pay for water or electricity. So from now to whenever they move out, you might want to sit them down and give them a reality check. Anyhow, Dave went through some tough times in between being a millionaire and again becoming another millionaire, and his mother sent him this poem. It's called The Rooster and the Hen. It said, "The little rooster, believe me, things are tough. Seems the worms are getting scarcer and I cannot find enough. What's become of all those fat ones? It's a mystery to me. There were thousands through the rainy spell, but now where can they be?" But the old black hen who heard him didn't grumble or complain. She had lived through lots of dry spells. She had lived through floods and rain. She picked a new and undug spot. The ground was hard and firm. "I must go to the worms," she said. "The worms won't come to me." The rooster vainly spent his day through habit by the ways, where fat round worms had passed in squads back in the rainy days. When nightfall found him supperless, he growled in accents gruff, "I'm hungry as a fowl can be, conditions sure are tough." But the old black hen hopped to her perch and dropped her eyes to sleep and murmured in a drowsy tone, "Young man, hear this and weep. I'm full of worms and happy, for I've eaten like a pig. The worms were there as always, but boy, I had to dig." This poem was a poem from the Depression era, but right now I think it's ringing pretty close to home for a lot of us. Perseverance, I believe, also has a lot to do with being able to roll with the punches, adjusting your course, sometimes taking a detour, and all those other cliches. Just doing the same thing over and over and expecting different results is one of the definitions of insanity. So how can you expect to overcome a challenge you are struggling with if you aren't willing to try a new approach sometimes? If I as a teacher continued to teach using a method that wasn't working for a student, how could I expect to get different results? If I expect to learn but never study, how can I expect to become more intelligent? How can I become healthier but never make choices good for my body? I can't. It's ridiculous. If you truly have a passion to get out of life what you truly want right now, then you have to be willing sometimes to accept that things may not be going your way, but you can still get out of life what you want and where you want to go. If you can instill in yourself the ability to bend when the road curves and not let it affect your attitude, and yet still remain focused on the end goal, you will grow stronger in each bend and will be flexible for future situations. It's like doing yoga for your future, but you don't have to wear the tight pants and you won't sweat as much. Through the experiences and relationships that you have had in these past years, you have gained invaluable insight into what is truly a pothole and what is just a rumble strip. You have experienced the pain, the sacrifice, and the reward that are often associated with engaging in the struggle. Take these trials that you have encountered, the battles you have fought, and embrace them. Although they rarely seem golden in the moment, they are truly priceless in regards to the mark that is left on your lives in the aftermath. We all have encountered adversity of some magnitude and frequency in our lives. It is inevitable. It is impossible to live without reaching a roadblock at some point, unless you have lived so cautiously that you might as well not have lived at all, in which that case you fail by default. I believe wholeheartedly that we are not given anything we can't handle, and that everything is preparing us for an opportunity to do something amazing or to inspire someone else to do so. Struggles remind us that we are works in progress, never to become complacent with where we are at, and it provides us with a self-evaluation about where we need to get. With each opportunity that you overcome, you emerge wiser and stronger, more confident in your ability to thrive in the unknowns that lay ahead. And there will be many unknowns ahead, many that you can't ever see coming. They're not always bad, they're just new and foreign. Some roads haven't even been paved yet, so you might have to pop it into four-wheel drive and get a little mud on the tires. And sometimes the things we don't understand are the ones that are the scariest of all. But it's often the scariest opportunities that we emerge from better than any others. If we accept that the past is the past, yesterday ended last night, and today is a brand new day, we can have an attitude of hope. We can look forward to today with an expectation that it is better than yesterday. See, I left high school knowing it all, and I left college valedictorian with a PhD in life. Not a real valedictorian. Shortly after college, I met a guy named Murphy and his pal Fika, and came to the harsh realization that the more I learned about life, the less I actually knew. But through it all, thus far, I have learned that the journey for understanding is lifelong, and though there will be some potholes and orange barrels, it makes for a great story. In fact, most of my stories begin with what seems like a tragedy, turns into a comedy, and ends up with me having to tell my dad that he was right. Once I realized that I can't control what happens to me, but I can control what happens in me and how I react, the magnitude of the situations began to minimize. I started to take more detours, use my OnStar more frequently, which turned out to be my mom and dad again, and other respected life travelers. I started enjoying the ride, and I eventually got back on path quicker. If you get coiled up in a rant of questioning the ifs and whys of life, you will one day find yourself in a hole of self-pity or self-doubt, and your attitude will become laced with fear, regret, and resentment instead of confidence, hope, and strength, which you have right now. There is no question that there will be some construction in your life. There will also be a lot of flat, straight, smooth roads, like the ones in Florida. It is about your attitude. I'm not telling you to move there either. It is about your attitude with regards to yourself and how you are going to do what needs to be done when it needs to be done. It's about being happy with what you have and where you are in life and making the best of the way things turn out. It's changing paths sometimes and being willing to adapt, and it's about lowering your pride, stopping at the gas station every once in a while when you're lost, and never forgetting where you have been. I know you can and I know you will, because like Steve said, you're Davison Cardinals, and that's what we do. In the past months, I have gained the impression from many of you that I was selected to speak to you because of my witty humor and sarcastic nature at times. You have even proclaimed that my speech better be funny. I apologize if I have disappointed you. If at times you found anything I did or said humorous over the years, there it is. Point taken, I know. It was a direct result of the interactions and dialogue that you have provided. You were the source of much of my humor in my day, in my so-called material, if you will. It has been a great year of learning and coaching. I have nothing but great things to say about the class of 2011, and will sincerely miss having you next year, in both in the classroom and on the field. But I'm looking forward to seeing what you guys will do in our generation, turning this country around. Thank you for the opportunity to speak to you today and continue to be a blessing in the lives of those you encounter, just like you've been a blessing in mine. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Loban. At this time, I'd like to invite the senior members of the symphonic band to join Mr. Schuster and the other band members. While the band is preparing to play, I'd like to recognize the people who have helped organize today's graduation ceremony. First, I need to thank Christina McWilliams and Ann McDonald for putting together the ceremony, for creating our program, for assisting with the setup and the student lineup, and for guiding a first-year principal through her first graduation. Without the hard work and dedication of these two people, none of this would be possible. Thank you, Christina and Ann. I also need to thank Mr. Miller, Mr. Pigger, Mrs. Hall, and Mr. Wahlberg for checking in our graduates and helping them to prepare for today's ceremony. Thanks to Mr. Brown for organizing the faculty lineup. This evening, we're extremely proud of our instrumental music program under the direction of Mr. James Schuster. Our band and orchestra students regularly receive the highest ratings at local and national competitions. This is an extraordinary group of talented young musicians. Please welcome the Davison High School Symphonic Band under the direction of James C. Schuster as they perform Haben Dance. Thank you, Mr. Schuster and Symphonic Band. Assisting with the conferring of diplomas this evening will be Superintendent of Schools, Mr. Eric Liskey, and Board of Education members, Mrs. Karen Conover, Mr. Douglas Theodoroff, Mr. Larry Finkbeiner, Mr. Dale Green, Mr. Kim Lindsay, Mr. Mark McGlashan, and Mrs. Kathleen Sudia. Reading of the roll will be done by Assistant Principals Jennifer Hall and Jerry Pigger, and Counselors Betsy Wamba and Rebecca Van Est will be assisting with the students. Christina McWilliams and the senior class sponsors, Kristen Slattery and Mike McCullum, will be distributing flowers to the graduates as they leave the stage. Please join me in a round of applause for each of these people and their contributions to making this ceremony a success. Before we proceed with the conferring of diplomas, I would like to take a moment and address the class of 2011. In just a few minutes, each of you will walk across the stage and receive a piece of paper. That paper represents 13 years of education, your successes and your failures, the hardships you have endured, and the joy you have experienced is all wrapped up in that paper. I am proud of each and every one of you. To the parents and grandparents here today, I'd like to say thank you. Thank you for allowing us, the faculty and staff of Davison Community Schools, to play an active role in your child's education and development. We sincerely appreciate your trust and support, and we recognize the vital role that you, the parents, play in the education of your child. It is because of you and the importance you place on education that these young adults sit before us today. Students, would you please join me in thanking your parents? It is now my great pleasure to present the class of 2011. Mr. Liskey and the Board of Education of Davison Community Schools, these students seated before you have met or exceeded the graduation requirements of the Davison Community Schools Board of Education. Mr. Liskey, I now turn over to you the 2011 graduating class of Davison High School.
Thank you, Mrs. Morris. Before presenting the class of 2011 to the Board of Education for the conferring of diplomas, I first want to thank the many members of our teaching and administrative staff who are assembled here behind me, as well as out on the stage floor. Thank you. I'd also like to take a moment and acknowledge, as Class President Steve Brown and Principal Martha Morris mentioned, the family and friends of today's graduates for having the single most significant influence on these young adults. You've certainly made a positive difference in their lives. We are all very proud of each of you who are graduating from Davison High School tonight. You have been successful in reaching this monumental mark, not because you have never made a mistake or faced a failure. Just the opposite. You are successful because of your mistakes and your failures. You've learned from them. You've made adjustments because of them. These are the characteristics of highly successful people. I congratulate each of you on your success today, and I wish you much continued success as you advance forward in life's many journeys. And now, members of the Davison Board of Education, it is my great honor to inform you, upon recommendation of Principal Martha Morris and the faculty of Davison High School, that indeed these students have met the requirements necessary for graduation from Davison High School. Members of the class of 2011, beginning with the first row, I now invite you to rise and step forward to receive your diplomas.
Carla Suhaila Casper. John Daniel Izzo. Jessica Lynn Opila. Catherine Ann Walker. Anthony William Campbell. Brennan Michael Thomason. Brittany Elizabeth Hendricks. Olivia Mary Frances Hallebecky. Justin Michael Rowe. Armando Cruz Lambaria. Brittany Rochelle Walters. Stephen Michael Brown. Michael Joseph Allard. Cassandra K. Watterson. Taryn Janae LaFerny. Lauren Michelle Yoder. Tanner James Kostelic. Rebecca Joanne Girth. Emily Lynn Lindsay. Joel Lloyd Arnold. Shelby Kathleen Klebs. Courtney Julia Kidder. Rachel Morgan Rogers. Brandon Andrew Hagland. Garrett Robert Daly. Nichelle Lewis Abraham. Caitlin Marie Allinger. Aubrey Gabrielle Anselmo. James Eli Articant Jr. Dylan Scott Arnold. William Otis Ashman II. Joseph Harry Babcock Jr. Anthony James Beal. Ashley Ann Bernard. Brittany Leigh Belen. Nathaniel John Bellin. Tyler Eugene Bender. Alyssa Ray Besson. Stacy Lynn Birdsley. Caitlin Eileen Blevins. Eris Lewis Block. Mackenzie William Blower. Stephen Michael Bonk. Laura Marie Galian Boileau. Drew Martin Bradley. Joseph Glenn Braley. Corey Patrick Brannon. Kevin Patrick Boyer. Taylor Danielle Brooks. Trevor Austin Brooks. Nicole Ashley Brown. Nicole Elizabeth Brown. Erica Adair Brummett. Bailey Marie Bruyere. Caitlin Michelle Berta. Ryan Robert Burrows. James Elias Cannon. Trevor James Carberry. Caitlin Christine Carpenter. Taylor Lene Carper. Robert Allen Carter. Emily Grace Carey. Garrett Ray Castleberry. Angelica Diana Castro. Tyler Logan Cherry. Lacey Eve Childers. Christine Nicole Chittick. Charles Jeffrey Church. Cody Alexander Clark. Sarah Christine Clark. Elise Renee Clements. Nathan Donald Cockerline. Craig Allen Coles. Emily Marie Cohn. Katie Elizabeth Conigliaro. Corey Wayne Connor. Gage Cody Cook. Brandon Jonathan Cooper. Trevor Solomon Coots. Paige Alina Corsair. Sarah Elizabeth Crane. Victoria Ransom Crittenden. Caleb Joseph Croft. Brittany Ann Crowder. Jonathan Ricardo Cummings. Eric Michael Daly. Lynn Thimai Dang. Sabrina Nicole Davenport. Chloe Christine Davis. Dean Everett Davis, Jr. Nicholas Stephen Davis. Anne Marie Dean. Austin Taylor Dempers. Andrew William Dennis. Alyssa Nicole Dexter. Dominic Daniel Diaz. Bronte LaShawn Dipzinski. Zachary Alexander Dobbs. Clarissa Michelle Dolan. Matthew Lloyd Doloff. Michael Raymond Doloff III. Michael John Dooley. Brooklyn Beth Dow. Caitlin Amanda Downing. Kathleen Ann Dowry. Eric Michael Draper. Alexander Blair Dudash. Haley Adair Dudzik. Brendan John Durkin. Shannon Lynn Disluski. Christian Ekoff. Elizabeth Rose Ellenbaum. Billy Wayne Elliott IV. Jared James Elliott. Olivia Marita England. Chelsea Annette Entrikin. Leah Mackenzie Evans. Zachary David Evans. Cheyenne Marie Ferris. Lauren K. Finkbeiner. Chandler Elizabeth Fish. Jacob Lee Flora. Brittany Christine Flowers. Terry Antonio Forward. Lindsay Ann Fulton. Jacob Cody Garrett. Stacy Lynn Garrett. Nicole Leanne Gay. Rebecca Lynn Gay. Kevin Michael George. Andrew Joseph Gerber. Zachary Patrick Gibson. Tucker Joseph Gidcombe. Shelby Christina Glantz. Emily Ann Glosh. Shelby Louise Godar. Stacy Marie Godar. Summer Renee Godar. Casey Lee Guzlin. Bailey Maine Goyette. Jason Matthew Gerbau. Lauren James Graham III. Aaron Macaulay Gray. Jesse James Gray. Joshua Headley Gray. Caitlin Elizabeth Gray. Andrew Ryan Gruno. Nicholas DeVoe Hallebecky. Carolina Halevy. Hannah Elizabeth Hall. Ryan Niall Hankins. Sarah May Hannigan. Cameron Haven Haskins. Andrew Michael Hodge. Tyler Stephen Hayden. Tyler Jonathan James Hazel. Matthew Sean Hasty. Cassandra Ann Hetty Kennedy. Samantha May Hetty Kennedy. Larissa Christiane Marie Hirschop. Tony Joseph Hemingway. Matthew Henry Hemrick. Brandon Michael Hendershot. Victor Wayne Henson. Cameron Albert James Hogg. Joseph Lee Huber. Christina Lynn Howarth. Ole Holmbrock. Amy Louise Hunt. Travis Austin Isaacson. Caleb David Isbell. William Alton Jackson. Jacob Robert Jacobs. Travis Michael Jalazinski. Alex Daniel James. Scott Carl Jarvis. Autumn Lynn Johnson. Trinell Devin Johnson. Jennifer Lynn Jost. Zachary Eric Keene. Kyle John Kinkle. David Thomas Kennedy. Anthony Richard Kenway. Tyler Timothy Kitchen. Glenn Matthew Cattell II. Ashley Nicole Klein. Lindsay Marie Kohler. Jared Marcus LaBelle. Austin Allen LaFave. Austin Lee Lake. Joseph Andrew Lane. Kevin Daniel LaRock. Christopher David Lovitz. Kent Jacob Lawrence. Seth Lyons Lehman. Brittany Lynn Levesque. Elizabeth Rose Leitz. Krista Leanne Livingston. Michael Paul Loveland. Trenton Matthew Litton. Brooke Elise Martin.
Drake Elliott Goyette Martin. J. Guadalupe M. Martinez, Jr. Christian Marino Matsukis. Eden Elizabeth Matsukis. Nicholas Sean Mayer. Elise Evelyn Mason. Nicholas Ryan McClellan. Jasper Mark McDowell. Brooke Danielle McGlone. Brandy K. McNew. Brandon Chance Mizell. Christopher Scott Meredith. Megan Michelle Millifoli. Austin Graham Lee Miller. Danielle Lee Miller. Rachel Joan Miller. Haley Kendra Millhouse. Cody Michael Minto. Travis Edward Machty. Amber Lynn Moffitt. Lucas McCarthy Moquin. Angela Moreno Rendon. Ryan Thomas Morey. Drake Alexander Morgan. Mara Lee Morrow. Marissa Renee Mullenix. Miriam Lasanti Mueller. Alyssa K. Murphy. Leanne Tricia Bernice Musson. Haley Noelle Nealis. Dawn Marie Nadella. Joseph Patrick Naminsky. Katz Jordan Natel. Nathan Wayne Newsom. Joshua Keith Norris. Whitley Ashton North. Megan Auline Ockert. Molly Irene Ockert. Stephen Randall Oliver. Matthew James Onika. Jessica Jan Orcutt. Britton Alexander Page. Peter Thomas Panos. Joshua Scott Parker. Lauren Gabrielle Parks. Nicholas Michael Perry Hetty. Daniel Paul Pfeiffer. Craig Lewis Phillips. Angela Marie Plamondon. Veronica Danielle Polum. Jesse Robert Popoff IV. Patricia Lynn Prince. Hannah Carleen Reeder. Kyle Lee Reeser. Marissa Claire Repko. Carrie Marie Reynolds. Matthew David Richardson. Mackenzie Lynn Regal. Sarah Marie Riley. Amanda K. Ross. Elizabeth Ann Rusito. Charles Joseph Rushlow. Rachel Lynn Russell. Bonnie Mae Rye. Cassandra Donnell Santier. Jacob Freeman Samir. Jonathan Robert Hartman Sayad. Daniel Bryant Shapekins. Catherine Schendel. Candice Marie Schmidt. Alan Trent Schneider. Brooke Ann Scott. Jacob Lee Seidel. Cody William Selkirk. Gabrielle Ann Seymour. Joseph Thomas Shannon. Nathan James Sharness. Megan Sue Shaw. Stephanie Jewel Shelton. Peyton Lee Sigourney. Morgan Nicole Singer. Austin Allen Slater. Jessica Lynn Smith. Stevie Nicole Smith. Zachary Robert Smith. Aaron Andrew Snyder. Trisha Ann Soper. Kristen Nicole Spence. Matthew Lawrence Spinney. Carly Ray Ann Staggs. Jordan Ann Stefanko. Desmond Austin Stevens. Kara Autumn Stevenson. Brandon Joel Stimson. Michelle Marie Stong. Jessica Jacqueline Lorraine Sweet. John Paul Talue II. Alan Michael Tetro. Tyler James Tebow. Kyle Kenneth Thick. Jacob Scott Thompson. Caitlin Leanne Thompson. Alexander Lucas Tiedemann. Alicia Noel Tilson. Blake Edward Tong. Travis Tyler Toy. Tiara Marie Trombley. Michaela Ray Tucker. Terry Jalen Turner III. Lauren Alexandra Urig. Zachary Allen Utica. John Leonard Vandecure V. Gabrielle Christina Louise Veal. Jacob Dwayne Wagner. Ethan Dwayne Wagoner. Danielle Maya Wallace. Kaylee Ann Waller. Presley Lee Walsh. Tori Rebecca Walsh. Amanda Jo Welliver. William Alexander Wells III. Kelly Ray Westover. Kylie Michelle Wilhite. Sarah Ann Williams. Stephen Jonathan Williams. Christopher David Windle. Jacqueline Paige Winter. Caitlin Danielle Worth. Scott Allen Wodowski Jr. Kevin Michael Wojciechowski. Joseph Edward Young II. Ashley Rose Zahn. Vanessa Zimmerman. And last but not least, Kaylee Moran Zudell.
At this time, the choir will congregate here in the front to sing our alma mater. Please rise and join the choir as they sing.
Oh God, I didn't see the camera. How did you not see that?
At this time, I'd like to invite Class President Stephen Brown to again join me on stage for the movement.